Hello and welcome back to Kaleidoscope. I am your host, LaShayna Sawyers. We have had a wonderful semester this year, and it's coming to an end, and it just flew right by us. So today will be the last segment of Kaleidoscope for the academic year. But of course, we'll be back next semester. But we have a great show installed for you guys. We have the president of the Black Student Union here, as well as the president of the Multicultural Leadership Council, as well as a little poetry blend. As you may know, this month is National Poetry Month. So we will have a student here who writes poetry, is a creative writing major. So just stay tuned and just enjoy the show with us. We'll see you right back here after these commercial breaks. And we're back, and we have the president of the Black Student Union. Hello, how are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
So, Dion, could you introduce who you brought with us today on the show?
Yeah, McGee, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm John McGee. I am the Community Service Coordinator for the Black Student Union, and I also run the Instagram page for the Black Student Union as well.
Excellent. So, as you know, as it brought to me that Black Student Union is a newly restored organization here on this campus.
It is.
So could you tell us a little bit how that went about?
Well, I don't know if you have heard of the film Dear White People. It kind of got a lot of people's attention, especially the people who worked with Multicultural Leadership Council. I was on that board. So with that film, it kind of took an idea from me to start the Black Student Union, and it's also been thrown around for the Black Student Union, to come back. First it was called the Black Coalition, but now it's called the Black Student Union, and we just formed in January of 2015.
Well, I would like to commend you all because you had that idea and then you went for it. You didn't wait till the following school year, but yet you did it the next semester. Like, we're going to get this rolling, and I think it's one of the biggest minority organizations we have running right now. Is that correct?
It is, yes.
So could you tell us a little bit about the Black Student Union, like what's its purpose here on campus, what events it may have, or what is your mission to do here on campus?
Go ahead.
I kind of jumped on board after Dion took the initiative to start the Black Student Union simply because of its purpose. The purpose is to promote the non-seen issues on campus and around in Moorhead. I know that one meeting we talked about a certain incident that was happening here at Moorhead. The KKK had come here in Moorhead, and we just talked about other social problems, and just kind of, it was more of a learning experience, and to see that history, if we allow it, can repeat itself, and that's something that we don't want to happen.
And we're also known to be, like you said, social group, but we also like to promote empowerment with the minority students on this campus and within the community. We also like to give back to the community and also give back to ourselves. We are an organization that allows all races, so even though we are called the Black Student Union, we are not just meant for African Americans, we are meant for everyone and anyone who believes in empowering African Americans.
Wonderful. So what type of events have you all put on for this semester?
Our biggest event that just happened is called Hats Off to Women. We hope to make this an annual thing. March, as you know, is Women's History Month, and we nominated staff, faculty, and
Recognized students.
And recognized students, yes. And it was just women of all types of ethnicity. So they, like we said, we're not just acknowledging African Americans, but people who go unnoticed for their work. And we wanted to make them notice, let them know that we see them and we see how hard they work and where they're going. So we had them a lunch, gave them plaques, we bought them, special jewelry gifts and hats to show that we appreciate their work that they're doing.
I actually attended the event, and I thought it was an amazing event, what you did, besides the fact I wasn't nominated. No, I'm just kidding. But it was a great event. Like you said, you did recognize those who sometimes get put in the back, but they're doing so much work, and I think the people that you all recognized were very excited, and you also did students and faculty, so I thought that was excellent. And for that to be a newly organization, learning how to do stuff, I thought that was a well put together event.
Thank you.
So is it safe to say that the Black Student Union is a liaison, I guess, to the school for the African American or minority students? Do you listen to the individuals in your organization and try to make an event or make a leeway out or be that voice for them?
Yes. When we first started, we had a program for everyone to come out, and it was one of our other executive board members. She had the idea to create a vision board for us, and everyone got into groups, and they were able to take from magazines their vision of what they want the Black Student Union to do and what they see in themselves and want to see in the community. And so far, we are trying to finish the rest of their vision, so we'll probably do that again next semester as well.
Wonderful. Well, Dion, could you remind everybody when the BSU meets and what time and where at?
Well, we actually have a meeting today. We are supporting the Delta Sigma Theta ladies in their Delta Week. It's the bottom of ADEC, and we're actually having game night as our last meeting. So feel free to come. It's at 5 o'clock, and it should be fun. We're just going to have games.
All right, well, thank you all for coming on the show today. I'm glad that our university got a little insight about BSU. And next, we will have Miss Katie Fall, the president of the Multicultural Leadership Council. See you back then. And thanks for coming back to Kaleidoscope. We have Miss Katie Fall, who's a returning guest here on Kaleidoscope. Hello, Katie. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
It seems like you've become one of Kaleidoscope's favorite guests.
Yes, I'm becoming a regular.
Well, we're glad to have you here. How are you today?
I'm good.
So we just had Dion, the president of the Black Student Union, and John McGee on talking about how the Black Student Union has been started here on campus, or reactivated, as I should say. And Dion mentioned how they watched, how MLC actually watched Dear White People, and you kind of got a spin-off to start this organization. So could you tell us a little bit, first tell us a little bit about MLC, and then talk to us a little bit how MLC went into not becoming, but helped start off another organization, which I think is awesome.
Right. Okay, well, MLC, which is a Multicultural Leadership Council, used to be organization for the for the minority students here on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So right before we were thinking about starting a new organization, and then within, like, in our meetings and stuff, we thought about maybe just having an organization specifically targeting the black people here on campus. So they kind of branched it off like that, but right now the Multicultural Leadership Council is actually supposed to be a council for all the multicultural organizations here on campus. So that means like NPHC, like BSU, international organizations, and we have cultural organization that's supposed to be in the organization.
So how is MLC going about that? So now you all want to be a council, so therefore these are the organizations can come to you all.
Yes.
And, like, I guess gather and then go back out. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, like.
So how are y'all getting this information out to organizations to start that new trend?
Yeah. So far, we've sent out a mass email to all the presidents' organizations to see if they wanted to be a part of the council.
Mm-hmm.
So once we get all the answers back, then we'll start. We're having like meetings, regular meetings. We'll have, of course, exec board meetings. So it'll be president, vice president, of course, treasurer and secretary, and then we'll have like a representative from the organization coming to the meetings and basically kind of telling us their calendar information and us like collaborating. It's really an opportunity for us to collaborate on events and have different events and be able to communicate with each other.
So are you excited about this new turn? It seems like each year everything keeps getting better and better. So now an organization has been newly reactivated because of MLC, which is great. But also MLC is becoming something higher itself. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I've been here for 3 years, and every year MLC every year has been revolving into something new. Mm-hmm. So the first year was just an organization. It was kind of really small. So when my class came in, it was a bigger amount. Mm-hmm. And then we was the voice of the minority, and now we're actually going to be a council. So I'm really excited to meet all the organizations, and then we can collaborate on stuff so it wouldn't be like more of a spacious kind of thing. I
think that's awesome. I'm going to switch gears here because many people don't know, but our producer of the show, Dr. Abel, this will be her last semester at Moorhead, and you're her mentee. So I want to how do you feel? Are you going to miss her? I know like you and Dr. Abel are really close. Could you tell us a little bit about you all's relationship?
I love Dr. Abel. I love the fact that she's a very real person, and she's not scared to tell you when you're right or when you're wrong. And that's, in college, you kind of need that person because there's always those people, you just never know what you're going on. But I'm really sad that she's going. I wish she could take me with her, but she's still going to be teaching classes online, so hopefully I'll take one of those. But I'm really sad that she's going to be leaving. So
as your mentor, has she always been the person you can run and talk to? Has she been your mentor since you got here, or did this recently just happen this semester?
She's kind of been my mentor since I've got here, and once I gotten to know her, it was like more of a regular thing. I can go to talk to her about anything. So
have you ever took one of her classes?
Yes, I actually believe it was last semester I took one of her classes, and she's hilarious. I love Dr. Abel, but yeah, I took her class.
So, Caddy, what are you majoring in?
I'm sport management major.
So I love how you juggle. You sports management, president, MLC. That's an awesome thing. Is there anything before we close out, before commercial breaks, you would like to tell Dr. Abel?
Well, Dr. Abel, if you're out there listening, I just want to say I love you and I'm going to miss you, and I'm so glad that you were always here as a backbone person that I can lean back on when I need help.
Well, thank you for coming on the show, Caddy. As always, it's been a pleasure, and hope to have you on again in the fall. We'll see you right back after these commercial breaks. Hello, and we're back, and we have Kristen Hardy. How are you, Kristen?
I'm doing fine.
So, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the show, this is for this month. There is National Poetry Month, and Kristen actually writes poetry. So we're excited to have her on the show today. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're from and what's your major and things like that?
Okay, so I was originally born and raised in Detroit, and then I eventually moved to northern Kentucky or the Cincinnati area. My current major is creative writing. I started off as a biomedical major. I wanted to be a dermatologist, and then I realized that it just wasn't for me. My true passion was writing. So I turned my hobby into something that I can make a career out of.
So when was that moment when you was like, I can't do this no more, I need to go for my true passion and do creative writing?
Finals week of chemistry and biology, that was when I decided that it just wasn't for me anymore. I just was too stressed out and I wasn't happy, so I decided to write.
So do you have like a sense of peace now that you have changed your major?
Yes, I always find myself writing poems or writing something. It just keeps me calm. Yeah. It's my place of serenity.
So what do you tend to do after graduation with your creative writing? Do you plan to write a book or start to get your stuff published?
Yes, I actually want to publish a book by the time I'm 25, so I got a little bit of time, but that is my ultimate goal. I plan on being a college professor for creative writing in English, the introductory levels of English. And I actually do have 2 of my poems published on campus, so that was some great news this past week.
Awesome.
So, always working on that.
So I know you're going to share a poem with us today. So could you tell us the name and share the poem with us?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so the poem that I'm going to be sharing is called Transformative Experiences. Through the binoculars from the soul within, the filth that once galvanized this heart of mine now rests upon a bouquet of lust. The narrow hallway with many doors, I stroll carelessly, abiding by the unwritten rules, abiding by the infinite reasons, once a furry caterpillar, now objectified to pure beauty. The mass tends to frolic with joy as the misery sinks in. There are no words quite as strong. There are no words to set this at ease. Much like a clam holding a pearl within, I am lost until someone is daring enough to set me free. Relieve me from this burning fire. Through the binoculars of the surrounding souls, the blades of grass look much greener and much more alive.
That was deep, girl. That was really good. So when did you write that?
This was a piece that I had composed for my poetry anthology. So I actually just wrote it about a week ago.
Really?
Yes, and it's still a work in progress, but it's just something that I was just sitting there and I was like, I need to write something for class, and what can I write about? And I just wanted to talk about the changes of just nature. There's a little bit of nature and just life in general.
I mean, you used some extraordinary words. It was heart feeling. Like, I don't know how fast you did it, if you rushed, but I could definitely feel it. I'm like, whew, that's good, you know. And a lot of people our age don't have that creativity when writing. That's why I'm so like astonished when I see someone who is doing poetry, because it's actually hard. It's hard to write.
Yes.
Many people don't know that. So would you say this poem reflects a little bit of you as well?
I would say some of the lines. It would be safe to say that. Just a few of the lines. Yeah. Not all of them, but some of them, yes.
So do you use poetry or writing as your outlet? Like, you know, if you're upset or if you're happy, is that what you go to, is your pen and paper? Are you new school, you go and type it up?
It's a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. A majority of my poems are in my diary or a notebook of mine, and some of them are on my computer. It just depends on the mood that I'm in that day. If I want to write it down, then type it, or if I want to type it, then just leave it like that. It just depends on the mood, but.
Well, thank you for showing that beautiful poem. Could you tell us the 2 poems that's published and where we can find them at?
They are actually published in Epsilon Muse, The Egg, which I'm also a member of that. Yeah. They are called I Am Free and then The Roses.
All right, so check them out. I Am Free and The Roses. And next, after this commercial break, we will have the legend herself, Dr. Abel, coming on for one last premiere of Kaleidoscope. We'll see you after that. we're back, and like I promised, I have the extraordinary, the beautiful, the illustrious producer of Kaleidoscope, Miss Rita Abel, Dr. Abel. How are you today?
How are you today?
I'm
So glad
doing-
to be here.
We're glad to have you. This is a bittersweet moment.
It is. It is. It's truly a bittersweet moment.
Well, first off, I would like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on this show, for believing in me and let me see something I didn't know I had myself. And as Katie said earlier, you're the backbone. You give us that push when we don't even know we have it ourselves, and you will be truly missed. I know you'll come back and pop in and see us, though, right?
I hope to come back and see you. I am just so pleased that I have something that I feel like I've left here at Morehead State University that represents diversity, and I hope that it will continue. I'm hoping I can pass the torch on to a good host. You have been a great host.
Thank you.
You are truly a strategic major, and you definitely know how to communicate with others. And I think I'm leaving it in good hands if we are able to maintain it. This has truly been a bittersweet moment for me. We started Kaleidoscope in 2006, along with my colleague, Dr. Ann Andeloro, and we were trying to think of something to help students learn the technology of radio and TV, and this was a grant that Dr. Andeloro was able to achieve and get, and we had a little budget there at one point. But we no longer have the budget, but we were able to keep the TV segments going. And so I'm real proud about that. And Dr. Ann talks about Hear Me Roar is the name of her show, and ours was Kaleidoscope because we really wanted to share and talk about the various diversity that we have on campus and in the Morehead community. We have a lot, and a lot of times our students in the campus doesn't know that much about what all goes on here on campus. And we wanted to try all the channels we could as far as communication to get out all the activities, events, programming, classes, what's available to everybody on our campus. And that was the intent of this particular project. And it has fared well. And I'm real pleased it has allowed me, as well as others that have come on the show as guests, to interact and learn a little bit more about one another, that a lot of people didn't even know we had a TV studio here in Bragg. And so it has afforded a lot of our staff and other faculty to come on and know a little bit about the campus and activities that we have around the campus and what all involves as far as diversity goes.
So did you know, like, when you came in here, like, I want to do a TV show? Did you have a dream?
No, I did not. That's the reason why I have to give all that credit to Dr. Ann Andeloro. She made me feel so comfortable when I first got here. I came here as faculty. And of course, everybody knows I'm an alum from here. And I was here from 1970 to 1976, where I did receive my bachelor's and my master's here. And so when I came back as faculty, I had no idea that this would be something that I would be doing. And I'm real proud about it and glad about it that I was able to leave something. However, I just have to leave this with you. While I was a student here, we had a radio show called The Soul Bus. And it was a radio show that we talked about different things as related to diversity. And on that show, I did what we call, I did soul food, a segment on soul food. So I always brought in recipes for soul food. So again, I just want to share that.
Well, I thank you so much. I'm going to miss you.
And you too.
And you gave me the opportunity to see, like, I knew I was communications, but didn't know exactly where I wanted to go with that. And you have helped me with that. And we are truly going to miss you.
Yes,
and
I'll
we
miss
just
you.
thank you. And thank you so much for coming on and doing this last segment.
Thank you. God bless you.
You too.
God bless you. All right.
And we will see you all after these commercial breaks. we're back, and I hope you all enjoyed the show today. I hope you was able to learn about the newly reactivated organization, the Black Student Union, as well as the new roles that the Multicultural Leadership Council will be taking on, as well as embracing the month, Natural Poetry Month. I hope you got that warm feeling as much as I did when I heard Kristen read that poem. And we'll be back shortly after these commercial breaks. Well, it's a bittersweet feeling. I'm so sorry that the show is over for the semester, but we'll be back in the fall. And I look forward to seeing all my viewers back, and I look forward to being back on Kaleidoscope. If there's anything you need to do this weekend, you're feeling bored, Student Programming Board is having a Paint You party this Friday, free at 8 p.m. in Laughlin Gym. Come around with some T-shirts and a free iPad. See you next time.